You're listening to the Inbound Logistics Podcast with today's guest, Michael Newcity, Chief Innovation Officer for ArcBest. The simple act of moving freight is hardly simple and can take hours or even days to complete. What if there was an innovative suite of hardware to modernize and transform how freight is loaded, unloaded, and transferred? Meet Vaux from ArcBest, which enables the entire contents of a trailer to be unloaded in under 5 minutes and offers complete visibility into freight movement within warehouse facilities, on the dock, and over the road. Michael Newcity, Chief Innovation Officer for ArcBest, joins us for a preview of Vaux. Joining me today on the Inbound Logistics Podcast is Michael Newcity, Chief Innovation Officer at ArcBest and President of ArcBest Technologies. Michael, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us today.
Yeah, I'm so glad to be here.
Excellent. It's great to have you. Michael, I'd like to ask you a favor and introduce yourself to our audience. If you could, take us through a little bit about your background and what you are doing with ArcBest today.
Sure. Yes, Chief Innovation Officer for ArcBest, President of ArcBest Technologies. I spearhead innovation for ArcBest. We are a company that has a 100-year history that's rich in innovation. Really listening to our customers and focusing on their needs and developing new solutions, one that we're going to talk about today, which is really exciting. I've been with the company for 30 years, worked on a lot of initiatives from e-commerce to business insight and intelligence, and just glad to talk about Vaux today.
Excellent. Now we might as well get right into it then with Vaux. Vaux, what does that branding come from? How did you come up with that name and everything else?
Yeah, so the name Vaux was really inspired by one of nature's most remarkable creatures, the Vaux swift. It's the way that these creatures, or a swarm of these birds, move in synchronization. It's really amazing. And Vaux's core innovation is about synchronization. You've got this combination of new freight handling hardware that helps standardize the environment. And then you've got this new software that helps optimize the freight handling environment. And together, these innovations really create and maximize efficiencies and gives full visibility into freight movement on the dock, in the warehouse, and over the road.
Okay, you touched on it a little bit there, but expand a little bit on what supply chain problems Vaux is really going to help solve. And on top of that, why Vaux? Why now?
Yeah. So, if there's anything that we've learned about the industry and supply chains in the last 2 or 3 years is the extreme level of inefficiencies and lack of standardization in the freight handling and distribution processes. Vaux deals directly with many of these freight handling issues, especially when it comes to congested docks and driver dwell time, but it also positively impacts freight damage and integrity, as well as dock worker safety. Vaux focuses on the twin goals of standardizing and optimizing the handling of freight. You've got a combination of the patented hardware and software that I talked about that deals with the loading, unloading, and cross-docking. And just to get down into some weeds of that, this new hardware includes the Vaux MP, which is equipped with a built-in decking system that can be configured based on the customer's needs. It allows it to slide inside any standard trailer in one movement using a regular forklift. Freight can be stacked in the Vaux MP without touching other freight, which improves the trailer capacity, keeping freight safer. And then using the MP and the MP coupler, freight can be easily moved from trailer to bay, between bays, back to the trailer with a single forklift, and then worked on from all 4 sides at the very same time, giving multiple operators access to product within seconds and ability to unload a full trailer in minutes. I mentioned the software as well, and that includes the Vaux OS, which connects to a customer's WMS or warehouse execution platform, enabling visibility and control of all the freight and associated activities around the Vaux hardware. We're launching now because we've piloted with a handful of ArcBest customers with great success, and we're ready to expand and offer the benefits of Vaux to a broader market.
All right, it sounds like such an intriguing system. Can you talk a little bit about the development steps that culminated in the launch? And you just said that you had that launch coming up soon.
Yeah, so sure. Innovation is really at the ArcBest core. Our 100-year history has been really marked by always looking for ways to advance and help our customers do the same thing. Vaux was an idea that came directly from a group of employees around 2014. Our culture really embraces this kind of thinking, and we saw a lot of potential merit in the idea. And so a team was formed in 2015. We secured a testing facility. Initial work included a computer simulation to measure potential efficiencies from the innovation. We engaged internal and external experts across engineering, software development, design thinking, and modeling. And then we also followed a lean startup process to minimize development cost up front and maximize learnings early on. Several generations of the Vaux MP were created to test different components and materials. And then in 2018, we leased multiple facilities and moved freight between them to capture just real activity data. The Vaux MP was introduced for piloting with an ABF soon after that. And then just a couple of years ago, we began exploring Vaux with customers and started pilots in their locations.
Michael, the hardware itself, the MP, what's the time investment on say loading it into the warehouse, staging it, unloading it, that kind of thing? Because it seems like there's a lot to go into it. Can you go through that with us?
Yeah, it's really amazing. What used to really take hours, depending on the type of freight, really takes minutes with Vaux. I think about it, an example where we were in that testing facility, and we had a driver. He didn't know that he was actually had two Vaux MPs on the back of it in his trailer. He bumped the dock, and he immediately kind of got ready to spend 2 or 3 hours there at the facility. We had unloaded it and emptied it within 5 to 10 minutes, and we basically told him that he was ready to go. And it was, you should have seen the look on his face. But so I think that's a great story there. But that actually also happened at one of our pilot companies. They were able to unload and put away an entire trailer in about 10 minutes versus the 2 or 3 hours that it took them traditionally. So that's really good, great to see that when it happens.
That's a huge time saving.
Yes, absolutely.
It looks like the MP then is positioned to get some use outside of the ARC network. Is that something that you guys are planning to do, or is it just available to ABF customers?
No, Vaux works for both LTL and truckload shipments. It's available for use in a customer's private network, a private fleet. A lot of our customers actually operate their own fleets, DC to DC moves, manufacturing facility to DC, different staging areas. And so this isn't limited to shipping LTL through ABF. And just want to clarify something here too. We're piloting with ABF, but ABF really is our first customer. They're an internal customer, but our first customer. This launch is specifically that we're talking about now is to help our customers, our external customers, if you will, streamline their own supply chains. And so we're actively working with other customers on their use cases for the technology.
So is it then a lease or buy, or are there other options for these other customers?
Yeah, right now the pricing model it's as a service. It's Vaux as a service. It's a monthly fee-based program, and the Vaux engineering team is working closely with customers to perform, in-depth evaluation around their freight handling processes. And so these efforts that we're developing are all, return models for our customers, and then we'll deliver and conduct an extensive on-site learning and development process around the technology to ensure they have a successful adoption.
Sounds like a great piece of hardware that will be very useful to anybody in the warehouse. So for anybody that is interested, where can they go for more information about the whole Vaux MP?
Yes, they can go to Vaux.com, VAUX.com.
Fantastic. That's Vaux.com. That link will be in the show notes. Michael Newcity, thank you so much for taking some time out to talk with us. Best of luck to you and to ArcBest, and good luck to the Vaux MP.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Inbound Logistics Magazine is the information leader in supply chain and logistics management. Start your free print and digital subscription today by visiting bit.ly/getil. That's bit.ly/get_IL and stay ahead of the 3PL game.
The Inbound Logistics Podcast is a production of Inbound Logistics Magazine. For the most in-depth information around logistics, transportation, and supply chain practices, get your free print and digital subscription at inboundlogistics.com/subscribe. Connect with us via LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube for the most current developments in the industry. If you'd like to leave us some feedback or have a topic you'd like to see covered in a future episode, call our dialogue line at 888-878-3247 or leave us an email at podcast@inboundlogistics.com. I'm your host, Jeff Vita. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you next time here on the Inbound Logistics Podcast.